Welcome back to Part of the Arts with me, Rebecca Godden. Today we chat to the wonderful Éimear O'Neill, who is an actor, writer and creative powerhouse. A first-class Italia Conti grad, she's performed everywhere from Shakespeare's Globe to the National Theatre, appeared in commercials with Chelsea FC and even been shortlisted by BBC Writers' Room. She's also the founder of Éimear's Weddings. Yes, she sings at weddings as well, a dream, and Epic Acting Academy, a drama school helping young performers build confidence through a creativity which we love to hear. From stage lights to startups, Éimear's journey is all heart. So tune in for this brilliant conversation on performance, passion, and paving your own creative path. One thing's for sure, Éimear's got it all, and we are so here for it.
Hello, Becca. How are you?
I'm so good, thank you. How are you?
Fab. Just delighted that I get to chat to you today and have a wee catch up like old times. And
well, welcome to Part of the Arts. It's so lovely to have you on. My first guest that resides in Ireland and is Irish.
Oh wow!
I know. Not my first Irish guest. I did have an Irish guest on, but my first guest that's living in Ireland.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh no, Becca. Thank you so much for inviting me on. And yeah, can't wait to chat all the things.
All the things.
All the things.
Talking of all the things that are said, kind of that come out of your mouth, Éimear, is there something that you've either said or done recently or that haunts you to this day that you thought, yeah, that should have stayed in my mind?
Yeah, I think like because as like people in the arts, we are like oversharers as well. I think whatever mouth I'm like, blah. But I was doing a wee job recently. It was a gorgeous wee job. It was basically we were all working with these wee puppets, and these puppets were absolutely fabulous, like wee farm animal puppets, and
so cute.
It was so cute, such a gorgeous wee job.
What did you do to make it uncute?
So it was all grand, but we were like, I think we were doing it, was it 2 or 3 days? And you know, by the end of the third day, you're sort of like a wee bit delirious.
Yeah.
And there was this puppet that was like this giant camel, which was amazing. It looked absolutely class. But you could actually walk around in this camel and take out like camel like poos, like, do you know, and then like all the audience would be like, oh my God, this is so funny. But I remember we were cleaning up at the end, and we were cleaning up the wee like camel poos.
Yeah.
We were just talking, and I was like randomly just turned right and said, I was like, no, but like I love the smell of poo, but what I meant was I love the smell of countryside. You know, like when you come like round, especially round like Ireland and stuff, and round my wee village where I live, it has that countryside smell, but that's what I meant.
When the farmers put the manure on the field.
Absolutely, yeah. But because I was so tired, Becca, like that didn't come out of my mouth. I just said, I love the smell of poo. They sort of just looked at me and they were like, it's like, no, I had to like clear up. I was like, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that at all. And then it got like, yeah, and then I started explaining. I was like, I love the smell of the farm and the, you know, the countryside.
All they can still hear is you saying you love the smell of poo.
But they were so lovely. I mean, the loveliest crowd to work with. So we all laughed about it. Like, but yeah.
Did it take a moment as well for like everyone to even realise and for you to realise? So were you just for like a good few beats after saying, I love the smell of poo?
Completely. It was a few seconds. And then I realised and I was like, no, I just need to clarify.
Oh, I sound like you're never going to want to work with me again. I sound like an absolute weirdo.
But as I said, like they were so lovely that they were grand, like they got it. They're like, no, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah. But I had to still feel like I needed to justify like what I just said.
100%. And then you just feel like you're blabbing, and then people are just, and you're just like, oh, and you're getting red at, and
I know. But it was funny. Like I laugh about it now. I'm like, it's just, yeah, you know, whenever you're just so tired as well, and it's just like, what?
We've all been there. We've all been there when we've said stuff. I'm going to share one with you now. You said you wanted to also talk to me today. So this actually haunts me to this day, and it's a kind of like a bathroom related one, and this is what made me think of it. So I was it was either sixth form or like late secondary school, because I stayed in the same place, and I'd gone to the toilet from media studies class. I'd like gone out and got like a toilet pass or whatever, and I'd come back, I'd sat down, and then suddenly I just went, and I went, Mr. McMinn, who was my teacher, I went, Mr. McMinn, I've left my ring in the toilet.
Oh my God.
Back and get it kind of thing, because I'd taken my rings off to wash my hands. And I'd taken my ring off, and then I realised that it sounded like, my ring. And I was like, oh no.
But you know what? Seeing those kind of ones, like all you can do is laugh and just own it and be like, it's just, like.
Well, he was like, have you, Becca? And then everyone
I
was like, oh God. I was like, no. And then we were all just laughing, completely disrupted the whole class. And then I was like, but seriously, someone's going to steal that. Can I go get it?
I need to go and get my ring.
Can I go get my actual gold ring?
Becca, I can just picture that as well. That is too funny.
Like, oh no, the embarrassment, the laughter, and then being like, oh, but I do need to deal with this situation.
I need to actually go and get it.
It was like an 18th birthday present from my dad. Okay, I was in sixth form, and it was like proper gold, and I was like, oh, I need to,
Did everyone laugh about it after?
Oh yeah, of course. And it was like, again, we were old enough. Yeah, we were in sixth form, old enough for it not to be that kind of turns into bullying.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? There's a fine line when you're a teenager.
I know, but we've all been there. Like, do you know what? It's just a human error, isn't it? Sometimes our brains just don't catch up with our mouth, and that's
exactly human error. And talking of being human and doing a lot in work as you do you actually have time to see stuff, to consume stuff? I really like to talk to people about the thing they've seen recently that's left them with a spark. And that doesn't have to be a piece of theatre, it can be TV, it can be a podcast, it can be a book you've read, just something you've consumed artistic wise that you've not output because we're busy people, we're always making, that you've just consumed and been like, oh, that was just food for the soul.
Yeah. I mean, it's very popular at the moment, but adolescence, it's just, Stephen Graham is just a genius. And I thought that the acting was stunning, the casting was stunning, the whole production, the one take, it was absolutely I just came away from that and being like, oh my God, they were so believable and just, it was just so vital and so important. I'm just delighted that it's doing so well because it's just absolutely incredible.
And it was so I'm so glad me and my husband watched it when it was new, and we hadn't really read up about it, and there wasn't that much hype, there wasn't that many spoilers, because a week in you opened your Instagram and it was interview after interview telling you how they did it and all that stuff, and that kind of one take, we didn't know it was done in one take. And as we were watching it, my husband was like, this feels like a play. And I was like, yeah, it does. I was like, I was like, this is not done in a traditional filming sense. And straight away we were like, and after the first episode, we had a little Google, and we were like, it is shot like a play. And the fact that we felt that and knew it is just a credit to how well they did.
Yeah, the fact that they were able to hit every single beat on command, because it was just done in one take. They didn't go retake it. It was just, I thought it was just absolutely stunning. So I guess that's the latest thing I've seen where I've been like, that is how it's done, that was just incredible.
There's rumours there'll be a second series, isn't there?
Yeah, I saw that. It came up on Lessons too.
I'm like, what are they? I don't know, just his journey from juvie to prison, or I don't know, how the family is still coping, or maybe it's from the perspective of the victim. I don't know.
I know, I'm not too sure.
No, I'm not.
I know I was speaking to some people about it, and some people said that the final episode, it wasn't as dramatic enough for them, but I totally disagree. I think it was
it was so raw.
It was so raw, and that conversation that the parents had, the discussion on reflecting and stuff, I was like, that was just absolutely perfect. It was so important,
Human.
Yeah.
And I'm sure parents everywhere are always thinking, am I doing enough? What? And it's that, them taking accountability of, we maybe should have done more, but we did our best. It's that weird kind of.
It was incredible. So that's the last thing I've seen, Becca. Yeah. I do read as well. And I'm reading a wee sort of, it's kind of like Cluedo, bit of a murder mystery.
Oh, I love a murder mystery.
And it's about these sort of horror writers that are invited to this very famous horror writer's house. Yeah, it all unravels, but it's kind of more like a wee guilty pleasure sort of, than anything. Yeah.
I do love as well that the way you just went, I do read, and I'm like, oh, well done.
We read when I've got time.
I wish I could read more. I really got into audiobooks not that long ago so that I could kind of read on the go, like hear a story, be immersed in a story on the go. And I was an absolute audiobook, like in the car nerd. When I was driving between gigs. That was quite good. But then sometimes I was so tired, I would just zone out and I'd be like, I don't know
what's going. I know that's the same with me, and especially when I'm in the house, I'll always find something else to do, and I'm like, I didn't get time to read my wee book.
I just need to read. Leave me alone.
Just need to read like the sun's out. I want to sit outside and read my book. But there's something else to do.
And a kind of, and talking about, again, busyness. You're a busy gal. You're a busy gal. I see it all over your gram. And, you like, let's kind of go from the beginning. You trained at Italia Conti, graduated with a first class honours. Yay. We love that. So did I. So let's go first class honours crew. Woo! What kind of drew you into acting? How did it happen, like, to the acting career? How did the training shape your career? Like, what kind of, how did that training shape you to go to where you are now?
I was really, really lucky. I had my year group. I loved my year group so much. Everyone was such a supportive bunch. We had the crack. The crack was mighty. Like, I mean, we had such a laugh, but we also knew when to take it seriously as well. And I think that's such a huge, that impacts your training so much when you've got a supportive year, because you're not afraid to just, I guess, like in the space, just explore and just find yourself. I also was really blessed. I had really, really good tutors as well, who I felt like I could just be myself with and talk to. And they just, they massively, massively impacted, my training. They were amazing. So I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, when I was graduating, I sort of had it in my head. I was like, I want to do Shakespeare, and I want to do, like, not so much musicals. I want to do, like, straight plays and things like that. But my career has not really taken that route. It's taken a bit of a different route, and I feel like completely, like, 100% fine with that. Like, I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. So like, I've been doing, like, I guess, musicals and pantomimes and children's theatre and things like that, and I just absolutely love it. But if you would have asked me that when I was graduating in 2017, I would have been like, no, I want to go a different avenue. But I guess you just go where it takes you and you find your feet, and that's kind of what's happened.
100%. And what's it like, transitioning between the life of theatre, commercials, audio work, running your own businesses, doing the kind of side hustles in between? Like, what's it like switching between that? That must be quite hard sometimes.
You do. I feel like I do have to put on different hats for different days. Like, completely. You know this too, Becca. Like, you're the exact same. You have, like, so many different, I guess, like, strings to your bow, which is amazing. But do you feel like that? Like, you have to wear different hats for different days?
Definitely. And, like, today for me is like, I'm doing 3 jobs in one day today, and 4 actually. Just a little bit like, okay, the hats are packed. Let's do a costume change. So that's, sometimes that's quite a lot. Like, I've really got to not psych myself up, but I've got to make sure I have, like, I worked out last night, did a food shop, got an early night, washed my hair this morning, felt really good. I've got to have, like, the basis for that day, because I know that this is going to be like a 12-hour day where I'm doing 4 different things. And those 4 different things, some of them are like an hour, like this. One of them was booking one of my Lambda students onto their exam. That took me like 15 minutes and, money from my credit card. And then the other one is, my part-time associate director job, where I'm just kind of doing admin at the moment, because we're in our Easter period where our sessions have lapsed. So we're just getting stuff done. And then the next one is driving to Portsmouth to rehearse for some short plays that I'm performing in. So and that drive, thank you, and that drive will give me that reset, because I've got 40 minutes in the car to be like, okay, next. But I think I've got to be more conscious of it now than I used to be. I think I just used to just flit and jump, and not really allow myself the time to think about what I'm doing and prep it. And that gave me a bit of anxiety, to be honest, because I'd always be, like, reactive rather than, oh, this is what I'm doing and that's fine. Because not every day looks like that. Not every week looks like that. I'll have a week where I'm just doing one thing on and off for the whole week, but then I'll have a week where I'm doing 4 jobs in one day, kind of pretty consistently. So it's about, I think, knowing that and just
100%.
sitting with it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. That's the thing. We are busy bees because, I've got my whole, as you say, I, run my own wee drama school, and I'm a wedding singer, and, an actor as well. But I also work 40 hours in the hospital as well as a nursing assistant, which
Sorry, Éimear. I didn't know you worked 40 hours.
Oh yeah, it would be 40 hours a week. But that's not, as you say, every month is different. So that wouldn't be every week. Now, if I book a contract, say for example, a pantomime or a show, and then I wouldn't work in the hospital during those times. But when I'm sort of, in between things, that would be my other job. And I absolutely love that job.
What do you do there?
So basically, as a nursing assistant, you are just, you're there to be the healthcare worker on the ward, and you help the patients, and it's just, I absolutely just
I bet you're so good at that. I would if I was in hospital and you came up to me, I'd be like, ray of sunshine.
Thank you, Pet. No, I absolutely love it. So I think I'm very lucky that when I have my hat on for those days, I'm absolutely buzzing to go there to that job.
You're not doing your kind of a muggle job that you absolutely hate.
No, not whatsoever. I see this as my other career, that I'm equally as passionate about.
And that's so important because it's still filling your cup then for the performative stuff, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
I have exactly the same. I'm so grateful that I've got a regular income job that I still adore, that, again, that is a career, and that I, it can fill my cup up for when I'm performing, for when I'm facilitating, for when I'm, doing all the other stuff.
100%.
Going. Whereas,
it
hasn't always been that way for us, has it, Éimear?
No. That's back it. This is the thing. I know I look back at some of the jobs and I'm like, oh my goodness, that was it was just for a paycheck, and all of that. But honestly, I feel working in healthcare now, all of the compassion and the empathy that I've used in my acting to play off characters just completely transfers into working with real human beings, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So I'm very lucky that I've got that I love as well. But as you say, looking back, we've not always had.
No. So obviously you're based in Ireland now, and you're settled with your partner, living the dream in kind of the countryside on the outskirts of Belfast, which just sounds gorgeous. You lived in London for quite a while,
I did.
Living the gigging acting hustle of life, as did I.
Yeah.
How different are those, and what was the kind of transition like for you?
So I feel this is the thing. I think ages ago, didn't you find that sort of the general consensus was, oh, you need to be in London,
100%.
You need to be in London if you want to really make this work. If you really stab at this acting career, you've got to be in London. So that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Turns out you absolutely don't need to be.
You don't.
Because I felt I was in London. Yes, I got some work when I graduated, and I did little, acting gigs in between. But actually, I wasn't getting a lot of work. I was going to a lot of auditions, and it was just I wasn't getting to where I needed to be. And I spent all my time working these other jobs that I didn't really like.
That didn't fill your cup up, and then it meant that, I don't know about you, it meant that I wasn't the best at auditions, or I was missing out on training opportunities because I just didn't have the energy.
Yeah, the energy, the time, the money. And I felt when I was living in London, I was almost getting to some points where I was actually getting a little bit desperate for acting work. So I would come into the auditions and I would maybe push and be because I really needed the work. And it's that's not how it should ever be. Just, you know what I mean? You should go in and just do your best and enjoy it and play the truth. But I just felt I was just coming in and be that mindset. Did it. But I lived in London for quite a while. So I graduated in 2017, and then I came home in 2020, met Darren, and stayed here. And honestly, I have to say, there's such a community in the arts in Northern Ireland that is, it's lovely. like you've got each other's backs, and I felt like I've got so much more work since I've been home. You know, with the theatre companies here and getting to know people here, and it's been lovely. Yeah,
I was going to say that kind of the connection. I don't know about you, but you kind of said it there. I feel the same as you. I'm you know, acting and directing more than ever, actually down south where I'm based now.
Rebecca?
I'm in Winchester.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, so I'm Winchester, so I'm very kind of, you know, central south. So I'm still, and I'm on the train line to London, so I can still go to the city if needed. And I found when I first moved, I very much I kept going back to the city, but it's because I'd built those contacts and I had that community. But now I've been here for 4 years. I've built the contacts and I've got that community here. So I'm, you know, I'm staying down here. I'm doing stuff in Winchester, Southampton, Portsmouth, just, you know, Hampshire based. Have you found that you've just kind of embedded yourself within the community, and that's actually, you know, being a personable person and making those connections and kind of being like a safe pair of hands for people also helps?
Absolutely. Like, I always had this dream of mine to teach my own like drama classes and things like that for wee ones, and I don't think I ever could have done that in London. I wouldn't have had the time because I was working so much to pay such expensive rent. I wouldn't have had the time to, you know, sit down and really craft this business. And that's whenever I came home and I was like, you know what, there is a gap actually in the market in this area for professional drama teaching, and that's what, you know, sort of inspired me to do that. So I feel like it all turned out for the best, really. But however, like, I look back at London with like such fondness. I had a ball. Like, I would never change any of that. Like, I would just it was such good fun, you
know what it was, and I think it was being in London in your 20s. I think there's something in that, isn't there? I think that's just, it's fun, it's that time to be alive. But I very much, I don't know about you, but I was burning the candle at both ends.
Completely. Like, I was completely exhausted, hadn't had a
oh my god, I'm so exhausted. Like, when COVID hit, I actually, Nick says he remembers me basically sleeping for like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
just sleeping. And he was like, because I guess we didn't know what was happening, right? And it was like, for me, I was like, oh my god, a break.
Actually sleep. I know. Oh my god, no, Becca, I was the same. I was completely exhausted. Like, I couldn't do it now. Like, at 31, I would be so burnt out. But back then, like, we were where we were meant to be in that place. You know what I mean?
100%.
It was good fun.
You know, we'd be promo gals for the day and then go and drink, you know, promo gals in Central, and then go and drink mulled wine at the Christmas market that was just outside, taunting us when we were inside.
Oh, you couldn't pass it. I was like, Becca, we're going for a mulled wine. We have to.
We need one.
We need one.
We've earned this.
And more.
And more. And, you know, and it's like, you should go home, you should get warm, you should get some rest. No, we've been stood up all day grinding, but we're now going to go stand in the cold.
Yeah. Drink a bottle of wine, get a few hours kept, and do the same thing again tomorrow.
And do it all again. Yeah.
Oh my god. They were the times, though. I remember the laughs.
Those were the times. And go make Ryan go get us a McDonald's in our lunch break. Oh, good old days. But yeah, and like exactly what you were saying. I think in your 20s, London, amazing. Not that being in London in your 30s, you shouldn't be there.
Oh no, yeah, not at all. Yeah,
it's just different, isn't it? And you know, talking of like well-being, health, I feel like you've got like really into your health and well-being in your 30s. You know, you do cold water dunking, plunging, whatever you want to call it. Can you like tell us more about that?
It's so funny. I started, well, we got a cold pod just like the back.
Yeah.
And honestly, it is the best. How much did I spend for? I think like 60, 70 quid. I got it on the sale. Not a lot for the amount that we use that. I say we.
I was going to say, I think I've only seen you.
Yeah, he's not really into it a whole lot. but it is the best 70 quid I've ever spent in my life. It was so funny when I started putting up on Instagram, videos of me in this cold
I
pot.
love it. I was like, oh my gosh, she's
My
crazy.
friends were like, you're not right in the head. Like, is it not freezing? Yes, it is absolutely Baltic. It is so, so cold. But I honestly feel like it's just completely like just so good for your mental health. It sort of rewires your brain to be like, I can do the tough things, you know what I mean? And just that mental clarity that I get after a cold plunge is just, I'd highly recommend. I love it. And it also is just time as well. Like I go out there and I sit in there for however, like 8 minutes or whatever. And just in those 8 minutes.
8 minutes? That's quite a long time for those
Long
things.
time.
Yeah. Wow.
But like in that moment, like you don't really have time to sort of, the sort of anxieties you would have on a day-to-day basis, like they go away for those 8 minutes because you're thinking about just actually breathing and being in the water. So it's lovely. I really, really love it.
You're there in that moment.
You're there at the moment. It's lovely. And I've joined a wee running club as well.
How's that going?
Oh my God, Becca, I just love it. I'm actually going there tonight. We're going to go to a wee place called Peatlands Park, and it's just like a lovely wee like trail run.
Nice.
And it's a lovely like community. There's no sort of like you need to be there at this time. It's just you go when you can and you run at your own pace, and it's just such a supportive community. I would never have like consistently been running if I wasn't part of that like brilliant group. So I'm very thankful for it. So yeah, running and dunking, and
dunking, and they all help you to kind of be the best that you can be at all of your, all of the avenues that you go down with your work. Yeah. So you spoke about your kind of performing arts academy. Remind me of what that's called.
It's called Epic Acting Academy. So yeah, the guy set that up in 2022.
Yeah.
Was it long ago now? Oh my God, 3 years.
That's quite a while, babe. You've been doing that.
I know. So yeah, like I teach on Fridays at a wee primary school, and then on Saturday mornings as well. And it's just so, I feel like it's just so vital, like for young ones. Like drama is such a part to help with confidence, and not just for the stage, it's for life as well. And that's what those classes are.
And I don't know what it's like in Ireland, but definitely here, resources for the arts within not just secondary schools now, primary schools are also, funding is also being taken away and cut in areas to bring external people in. So I think it's even more important to have those regular presence of the arts in a school.
I know 100%. And I see some like little ones that maybe come in and they're, very shy, and within a couple of weeks, they're just like, their confidence just grows. So it's I find teaching really, really rewarding.
I do too. And do you find the little ones, they're so creative?
So creative. They could teach us, honestly.
Yeah, they come out with stuff and I'm like, oh my God, I could like write a play on that. That's really like
the creativity of little ones is just it's phenomenal.
It's amazing. And I love that sometimes. I think sometimes I'm a bit with my facilitation, I'm a bit like, oh, like it's tiring and amongst everything else. And I'm like, I'm just gonna go into an after school, basically sometimes some of the stuff I do ad hoc is like a glorified after school club where they've been put in and they don't necessarily want to be there. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, this is gonna be tough. There's like 25 of them, different age ranges, different classes. They don't all know each other. And then I come out and I'm like, oh my gosh, we had the best time. Like they were feeding me, actually not the other way around. And that reminds me why I still work with children. And
absolutely. But it just goes to show how vital drama is, and there's not enough funding for it. It's crazy when you see the transformation in young people's confidence. It's like, why is this not really?
Even those that their parents have put them in there, if I just see that they've had a good time, I'm like, you've had fun.
Oh, absolutely.
When it comes to this club, but you've come out with a smile on your face, and hopefully you remember that. And the next time you come, you're not dreading coming. And it's all about just the communication, isn't it, of the little ones and them trying something different.
Yeah, and it should be nothing but fun. It's just joy, like, you know what I mean? It's drama, it's fun, and if they have fun, that is a good thing.
And you're an amazing vocalist, Éimear. Gorgeous voice. So your other entrepreneurial venture, entrepreneurship, I don't know if that's the word. You're an amazing entrepreneur, and your other venture is a wedding singer.
Oh my God, I love it. I love it so
do
much.
Do you find, like, I saw in your stories the other day that you sung a bride down the aisle? Is that the first time you've done that, or is that quite irregular?
No, that's I that would be part of the job. It's so, yeah, like so I would typically be a ceremony singer slash sometimes drinks reception as well. That's kind of what my voice lends itself to. And yeah, like part of the ceremony, like you would maybe sing a couple of numbers as guests are getting seated, and then your big one would be when the bride's walking in. That's their big entrance song. So I guess like it is a huge responsibility. It is the most important day of their lives. So I just feel really I genuinely mean this. I feel so honored coming away from that job every single time, because I'm like, that was the happiest day of their life. They trusted me to be in music. They're happy with the music. They've had such gorgeous feedback. I've been really blessed with all my brides and grooms. They're so lovely. And yeah, it's a joy. It's an absolute joy.
Have you ever got emotional when you've been singing?
Completely. Like, that's the thing, as I say, like a lot of the clients I've worked with have been so lovely, and they've told me
you care, you get that relationship.
They've told me their stories, their struggles that they've had up to this point, and how important certain songs, what they mean to them.
And then you're singing them like,
And like, sometimes I actually can't look at the person walking up the aisle, because I'm like, I will start to get emotional, especially if they've got a story and they're telling me about a certain song that how it speaks to them, and I'm like, I know this story, and it's just like, but it's beautiful as well. It's such, I love it. There's a lot of preparation goes into being a wedding singer as well. It's definitely not like you turn up for an hour and you do your job and it's done. It's not that.
No, not at all. So like, what is the prep? Is that kind of getting to know the couple and actually personalizing the experience to them? I guess you can't just be like one and done, this is your package.
No, absolutely. I mean, like, that's the thing. A lot of the times, like, my clients will be like, oh, we really don't know what songs we want. Can you send us some suggestions? So I'll do a lot of liaising with them, and I'll, like, maybe sit on a Zoom with them and say, they've like loads of like lists of songs, but then they'll come back to me maybe with songs that aren't on the list, and I am always more than happy to accommodate, because it's their wedding day, like it's their choice.
And then you're learning a new rep that's not necessarily within what
my God, I love it. Yeah, as long as I've got plenty of time and to, in advance to practice, I'm like, I'll sing this 100%. I've had all requests. I've had West.
And you're like, in my bank.
Like one day you could be singing, I don't know, like a Handel number, and then you're like Westlife the next day, and it's just like that variety is just the spice of life. I just love it.
Have you done first dances as well?
I haven't done first dances, but I offer that as a service. But I would love to do that. I think that
here we go. We're putting it out there on the podcast. I'm
manifesting it.
Yeah, I'm gonna put all of your handles and everything in the descriptions, so you can follow you and find you. We're manifesting that a first dance song will be the next step.
I know. Oh, I'd love that. But that is such a gorgeous wee job. I'm so glad that I set that up. I wanted to do it for years. And
what made you kind of take that leap? Because I know how it is to sit on something. I've sat on this podcast for a long time wanting to do it, and then it finally just was like, I'm just going to do it. No one else is going to do it for me,
Absolutely.
But what kind of like flipped for you? Where was the moment where that switch was turned?
I just think like I just wanted to sing. I love singing, and yeah, you know me, Becca. Like we're like around each other, and like me and you would be talking one minute, and then we'd bust into song the next minute. I just wanted to sing, and I thought, right, this is the perfect avenue to go to, Yeah, but as you say, like you do sit on things for quite a lot. Like we almost talk ourselves out of it as well. Yeah. And you're never really ready to make that huge jump. So you just have to just do it and see what happens.
See what happens. And that's just such, simple but effective advice that like we talk ourselves out of stuff all the time, not into stuff. And exactly, just going back to what you said, as performers, both of us that are trained in singing and who don't necessarily maybe use singing to perform in theatre that much anymore, I completely feel that kind of like you don't use the tool as much.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know what you mean. So as you know yourself, Becca, like we just have to sort of create our own work as well, and absolutely do that and generate our own work and do what we love without relying on the phone ringing,
I know. Definitely. And I think I've realized that as my career progresses, that kind of like you make your own opportunities, you open your own doors, push at those open doors as well.
Yeah.
You know, like what you were saying earlier, don't go into those rooms where you're not wanted all the time. Actually go into those rooms where you are and people. And I do feel like the arts is getting more collaborative. I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if it's because I've moved regional, but I feel like there is just more collaboration.
I totally feel that. And again, I think it's depends on where you live as well.
Yeah.
London can feel so vast and, you know, all of that. But I feel like, you know, being back in a wee village and being back in Northern Ireland, there's such a collaborative nature, and it's lovely. People are willing to help and support, and
And you you help people in your kind of side hustle job or your other career as a healthcare nurse, and you know, singing to people's weddings, meaning something for them, teaching the next generation performance skills. You've also recently been in, and you have been on a few like theatre and education tours, is that right?
Yes.
Ireland.
So I've actually just finished a wee tour there. It was a production called Waste Busters, and it was about basically busting the waste and recycling and reducing and reusing, a very, very, very important message for little ones. And that was with the Lyric Theatre here in Belfast with their creative learning department. So you
used to work in the creative learning department as like a producer or something as well way back when?
No, I used to work as development officer with the Lyric. So they're lovely.
Again, that's that kind of, you worked in-house and then you built that relationship, you built those connections, and then other opportunities within your performance came after.
And I love that play so much. We performed this play, I think was it 2 years ago, and then we sort of we went back on the road with it this year.
What a prize, Éimear.
And it was just like the other actors, the crack that we had, and we honestly, the energy, we feed off each other so well.
Yeah,
such a gift of a job. So for like 7 weeks we went around primary schools. We had 2 shows a day, 2 performances a day, and it was a gift. I absolutely loved it. Over in the blink of an eye though.
Oh, honestly, it goes so quickly. It's because you're just constant, aren't you? You're on the road, you're packing up, you're performing, you're packing up, you're performing. Like, it's just so quick, and then you're like, oh, it's fun.
It's so funny though that we talk about, like, you know, being back in sort of like a smaller community. So I was finding at certain schools,
people.
Yeah, some of the kids would actually come up to me at the end and they were like, I recognize you from your Christmas show. I did a pantomime there at Theatre at the Mill in Cinderella. I was the fairy godmother and the ugly stepsister. And they were like, you were the fairy godmother. You were the ugly stepsister. I was like, no way, like, you recognize me.
Like, I was.
Like the wee kids, I mean, little tiny wee babas, they recognize me. And I was
am
I famous in Newton Abbey?
I think you are, yeah.
But yeah, so there's just that wee sense of community. Which
you didn't need to, even though you didn't need to have performed at Shakespeare's Globe and Hampstead Theatre, but you have. How different, Éimear, are those like experiences to the ones you've just described? Like, does that feel like, do they feel like different worlds, or do you just feel like that was for that time and this is for this time?
That's really interesting what you said. I do feel like it was sort of, that was for that time and that was for this time. I remember because I was nominated for the Spotlight Prize and I was graduating from Italia Conti, which I'm so thankful for. It was an absolutely amazing experience. But the pressure was on, Becca. Like, it was a room full of like casting directors and agents and directors, and this was basically a showcase. It was for you to, you know, showcase.
With an agent.
Yeah, well, I had an agent at the time, but it was to sort of like almost like impress like these casters. And I just remember I have never been as nervous for anything in my life as I was for that. You know, obviously I fought through the nerves and I delivered, but it was like, I just remember before I went on, I actually felt like, oh my goodness, that I'm so, you know, just because of the environment that it was just pressure was on. And then I go and do jobs like this, where I do like, you know, such like, and panto with such joy. I love pantomime so much. I love the form.
Oh, me too. I've also played the ugly sister and the fairy godmother in a version of Cinderella.
I saw that. Oh, Becca, we need to do a Cinderella menu together. We could both be the ugly stepsisters.
Oh my God, that would be so fun. So fun. And then we could switcheroo doing the fairy godmother, so it's not all in one person.
So like when I think about like when I was so blessed to have that job at Christmas and just to finish with the you know the TIE tour though, because they are just such a gift, especially children's theatre. You know, a lot of children, this is a lot of their first time maybe ever seeing a play, and you're providing that experience. So you want to do well for them, you want to create a special moment. So I feel like it was that was for that time, and I guess this is for this time, I suppose. You know,
do any of those moments stand out to you particularly, like, you know, when you were performing at those bigger venues, that, you know, wasn't just fear? Was there ever like a moment of like elation and like like I've done it?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. That's the thing, because even though I was nervous for the Spotlight Prize, when I was on the stages, I was 100%. Like I was fine. I was enjoying every moment. It was just before it. And then the first job that I ever actually got was whenever I graduated. I got a job at the Hampstead, and I just felt so lucky to be like, oh my God, like this beautiful theatre that creates all this new writing, and I'm going to be here. Like it was amazing. I was playing an Irish maid during the war. It was just absolutely such a beautiful play, and I guess like every night that I went on that stage that I played this Irish maid, I had such fun with her as well. She didn't have a lot of lines, but I feel like those are the best parts. You can all those moments. I had such fun with her, so I guess that was a big moment for me too. Whenever I graduated, I was like, this is fab. This is such a joy. We're so lucky.
And that's the common thing that I'm hearing in like everything that you do and have done. It's like finding that joy and that fun. And, you know, I read like a meme. Oh, this is that's how I read on Instagram. And it was, you know, very much that kind of, we've got to, as actors and as artists, we've got to remember the joy, because that's the reason why we went into this.
Absolutely. And it's sometimes easy to forget the joy.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Because we're so busy and we want to do well, and we're like all of that, but it's a joy. Like it's just fun, like 100%. I think I've realized that though as I've gotten older. I'm like, this is just absolutely just a gift of a job.
And thinking about what you have and what you are performing in, not what you don't have and what you're not in. I think that's also really important. Everything is relative, and like what we just said, that's for that time, this is for this time. Who knows what's for the next time? We don't know. The industry is always evolving. We're always evolving. Absolutely. We are training every time we do a gig. Do you know what I mean? And it's like our craft is changing and developing.
Isn't it that quote they say, like, comparison is the thief of joy as well?
That's one of my favorite quotes. Yeah, it's so true.
It's like I can't begin to compare, you know, my career to somebody else's, because we're all completely individual, you know, and just enjoy the work that's there and the work that you generate and the work that you're in.
Definitely. And you touched upon it a minute ago. You're a writer as well. So you were shortlisted for BBC's Writers' Room. How was that process, and do you still write?
Yes, do you know what? I do still write. I need to sort of schedule more time to write though. I just find at the moment I'm just like pretty busy, but I
think you're doing enough.
You can chill a wee bit.
Yeah, like just go and plunge in your pool. Like.
Oh, I will. But yeah, like I was writing so much more. I guess like whenever I was graduating from drama school and stuff. So I think that was in 2017. There was a call out for Northern Irish writers for a little sort of, I guess, mini horror comedy series called
That's me.
Fright Shorts. And comedy horror is such, oh my God, it's my favorite genre. It is so fun because I'm such a horror fan. Like, I live for Halloween, but also, you know, live for the comedy. It's just, So I wrote a little story, and it was called Chick or Treat.
Ooh.
And sort of, it was very funny, but it had that hint of spook as well. And I got shortlisted for it, and I flew back to Belfast at the time, and we all, everyone that was shortlisted, we got to sort of like develop our stories with like producers there and stuff. I didn't get selected for it to be actually produced in the end. I think they chose, was it 6? But I think I got down to like the final 12 or whatever, which was just incredible. And the fact that I had that opportunity to develop
And the experience, how was that, just being in the room with lots of different creatives?
My God, it was amazing. Like hearing their ideas as well. I was like, we're all nuts. Like, I love this. But yeah, and they were really, it was just so informative. They really went through the structure of comedy horror, the genre, and the beats that are needed and everything. It was so informative, because things like that I wouldn't have known. I was just sort of writing from inspiration, and I said, actually, there's this craft, it was amazing. I absolutely loved it. I still want to produce that little horror show. I do. It's not going away. I still think about it.
Yeah, it's something that you're sitting on. Like, it's there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go my own way with it. I really am.
What for you? Well, if you ever want to cast me, I'll fly to Ireland.
Oh my God, 100%. We will 100%.
I was gonna say, I was like, have you ever performed in any murder mysteries?
Oh my God.
Because you'd be, if you love, because I'm similar to you, you know me, I've got a dry sense of humor. I love comedy. I love like the dark, the shade in the light as well. I absolutely live for Halloween. Like, I will dress up even if I'm just opening the door to trick or treat. And I will like decorate my house, and Nick's like, we have no kids. And I'm like, I know. But
I'm like, it's not for the kids. This is for my, yeah.
And I've performed in a few murder mystery events, and oh my gosh, they're so much fun.
Yeah, I would love to do that. Was this in London?
No, I've done them regionally around kind of Hampshire and Surrey way. Yeah.
I'm coming to Hampshire and Surrey.
Look in your local area, because they're everywhere. They're just your standard kind of, not standard, they're just like, you're like your corporate events where a company will hire out a hotel and for their staff, their big staff team, hundreds of people, and they'll have like a 3-course meal, and they'll hire in entertainment, and they'll hire in a team of about 6 to 8 actors, normally 6 actors, to perform a murder mystery. And then the customers, the participants, they have to solve it, and then you're there with like certain, it's kind of like a bit like immersive secret cinema vibes, where you interact with them and you improvise around the story as your character, but then you've got set scenes that you have to do throughout the evening that they see to kind of like give them the clues.
I would, oh my God, I live for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I would love to do that. This is the thing, like, I do see call outs in Northern Ireland for, Halloween actors and stuff, but because I'm such a Halloween fan, they're actually on my list to go and see it. Like, I want
to be in it,
experience it rather than, so I don't know, maybe, what? I can do that part, like, rather than actually going and being a customer at it, but
the murder mysteries are great because they're like that, it depends what theme it is. There's been a lot of like Great Gatsby ones I've done, so like 1920s vibe, and then there's a murder, and but they're so fun because you get to kind of like mess with the audience, do you know what I mean, and like really, really have fun with it. And then there's the big reveal at the end, and obviously sometimes the majority get it right, but sometimes they get it really wrong, and then we have the end scene where it all unfolds and someone else normally dies.
Oh yeah, there's always that one at the end, like the extra one that dies, and it's like, yeah. It's such a laugh. Yeah, it's such a laugh. It's such a laugh. Yeah,
you should definitely have a little look. There'll 100% be some around you. Yeah. And it's again, it's good fun. It's good pay. It's ad hoc. Do you know what I mean? It's get sent the script, learn it, rock up, kind of ad lib with the actors a little bit before, run it a little bit, and then you go.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely, because there is quite a lot around here, especially in Belfast and stuff as well.
There's probably like big manor hotels and stuff, right? That those kind of functions happen at.
Yeah.
I went to a friend's wedding, and he actually had one at his wedding.
Oh my God.
Because he's an actor.
Yeah.
And he hired in like actors that he usually does them with. And he wasn't in it. Although they did say that the groom's a suspect, just to include him, but he wasn't like in it. And it was brilliant. And there's just like a kind of murder mystery escape room.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So you got taken into a room, and you had to then with just like other guests, you just got like shoved together. So it also was a great way to like meet people at the wedding.
That is so creative. I love that.
Creative. I was like,
would that be at a wedding as well?
I know the groom basically produced and directed his own wedding. Do you know what I mean? Like,
This is not just my weddings.
Yeah, this is
Production.
an event.
I love that.
Shout out to Jordan and Elizabeth, because that was honestly probably one of the most fun weddings I've been to.
That actually sounds so much fun. I would.
And they have one of those 360 cameras as well, where you like, it was.
I see those quite a lot of weddings as well. They're class.
Yeah, you have to get in one next time you're singing at the wedding. A bit of promo for yourself. That's what I'm saying. With the microphone, slow-mo.
Just spinning round, just slowly.
Just a little wink at the end.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait to see that on, Éimear's Weddings Instagram now.
Just a little bit of like self-promotion, just me just spinning around slowly with this microphone.
Yeah, just trying to look chill.
Yeah.
And then being like, when do I move? When do I move? Oh my gosh. So talking about like the odd jobs, before we wrap up today, I always like to ask people, what is the weirdest job you've ever done? Because in our industry, as we've spoken about a lot today, Éimear, like you've worked in a lot of different places doing a lot of different things, but there must be something that kind of sticks in your head where you're like, that was wild, either in a bad way or a good way. I've had both.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so like there's been quite a lot that I've had to like work at, as like side hustles in between acting gigs.
Yeah.
I remember there was one where I had to like promote this like bank in the middle of bank in like in London. And
I did it too.
Yeah, exactly. I remember. It's so emotional.
I remember that one.
And like I think like I might have been like just me and another person as well. So like I was like, sometimes you're doing those jobs, but there's a big crowd of you can like vibe off and you can the crack and stuff. But it was just kind of like I had to stand outside this bank and I had to promote this bank to get these like bankers to sign up to the bank.
Bankers that probably work for another bank to sign up to this bank is like brand new.
I have no interest. They're laughing at me, like, and I had to wear like what was sort of like shaped like a surfboard in my back. Like it was
like a flag backpack, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a flag backpack and it was right behind me in busy bank in London in rush hour. So everyone was like, pushing past me, like, sorry, excuse me. And I'm there like, yeah, guys, sign up, for whatever it was. And it was like, I remember doing that and I just felt like, I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. I can't.
How many of those shifts did you do?
I think I did quite a few of them.
I think I did. How did we never do it together?
I don't know, because I would have remembered if I did that.
Yeah, no, I never did it with you. I think I did a few. I don't think I did loads of them. But yeah, I remember that really, really like solid backboard. And like your posture was all whacked out. Like your chest was like shoved out.
And like it was really, really tall as well. Like really tall.
Whack the back of my head.
Mm-hmm.
And then like if the wind picked up.
Babe, honestly, if the wind picked up, I was like going with it. Like, do you know what I mean? And like,
I actually still remember the name of that bank though. I actually think I've got a pen here that's got it on. Do you remember we got like a ton of swag from it? Because it was like a new brand. So we got like the squishy balls, the pens, the notepads. And I think on like my last shift, they just said, take what you want. And I was like, it's free.
It's free. Free merch. Love a bit of free merch. Listen, it's a memory. It goes in the memory box,
Well, I'm not going to promote them, but I do remember the name.
Yeah.
Of the bank. And I think I've seen some shut down recently. I don't think they did very well.
God, okay. Yeah.
I felt a bit, I don't know about you, but I always felt a little bit weird, like signing people up to a new kind of, it was like an overseas bank. It was a European bank, like that wasn't really known in the UK, like signing people up to an account for their money, like to put their money in it. I always felt a little bit weird.
Like this is the thing. Let's be realistic. Me and you don't work in finance. We don't know this subject, right? So like, I felt like, did you not feel like you were like promoting this brand, but you didn't know very much about the brand? You were just sort of like, your focus was just getting the
And
numbers.
also I'm like, yeah, cool, put your money in here, it's safe. I don't know if it's safe.
I don't know. And then they would maybe ask me something maybe a wee bit like complex about like, you know, the numbers. I'm like, I haven't a Scooby. Let me find out for you. And then I just run away.
Hang on, let me just wrangle this kite off my back and
like I'd go and find out for them. I'd run away and I'd never come back. You know what I mean?
As well, you couldn't get into the door without taking it off. So you'd be like, hang on, I'll just take the backpack off and go inside and ask.
Oh my God. Like I didn't have the answers.
No. And I think I signed a fair few because you had to hit like a quota, didn't you, for the day?
Yeah, you wouldn't get any more shifts.
No. And so I did.
Had to.
Oh God, I'm not gonna mention the brand, but I'm sorry if I ever signed you up to a bank that then went bankrupt.
I'm really sorry.
I'm really sorry. But I feel like it's on them for hiring actors.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're going to do it. So
they knew what they were doing. They knew we could sell a stick.
Of course they did.
Do you know what I mean? Like to a bird. They literally knew. They knew we could do anything.
Sell a stick to a bird. I'm going to use that. I love that.
I just made that up. You know, I was like trying to think of it. That worked, didn't it? I think that worked. I'll coin that.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a thing. Sell a stick to a bird.
Maybe it is. Maybe I've heard it before. But there we go. Just sell a stick to a bird.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, honestly, Éimear, this has been such a blast. Just
Rebecca, it's just like having our wee FaceTimes again. Just
I know, me and Éimear in lockdown because we just missed the camaraderie from these said crazy jobs that we've done together, or sometimes not crossed paths and not actually had each other to keep sane.
Yeah, 100%. If we didn't have those jobs in between, like we wouldn't have even met. And
I know, which is such a blessing. And when you were working with someone that you got on with,
yeah,
honestly the vibe. But then obviously when you were working with someone that's
not vibing,
there's nothing going on.
Yeah, it's like, this is long. This is long.
There's that beautiful voice. But we would FaceTime in lockdown. We'd have either a glass of wine or a little G&T.
G&T always.
Yeah, and then we carried it on for it. Like we did do it every now and then, didn't we? We need to do them again.
We need to 100% do it again. We would message and be like, right, G&T time, FaceTime,
G&T time.
Yeah.
And I expect it to be from your cold water chamber.
Yeah.
Just there.
I have thought about bringing a drink into the cold pod, but I don't know.
Maybe would you be able to, I don't know, like with the breathing?
It's so cold at the minute. I don't think it would be very enjoyable, but I'm waiting whenever it's quite warm, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, actually, if you FaceTime me, it would just be a one-way conversation. I'd be just talking at you for 8 minutes while you were trying to breathe.
Shivering.
It would be torture.
Yeah.
You'd be like, she's just talking at me and I'm just trying to concentrate. I won't do that to you. Now, Éimear, before we go, obviously I'm going to put all of the amazing things you do within the community and within your performing arts in the links. But is there anything you want to shout about, or anyone you want to shout about before we log off today?
That's a good question. There's nothing in particular like that I want to shout about at the minute. Just in general, I've got a lot of weddings coming up. My new term for teaching starts next week as well. So I'm really, really excited about that. Yeah, I suppose that. And shout out to Darren as well, who is just the best crack and the best supporter. And
that's your partner, yeah?
That's my partner, Darren. He helped me with the self-tape the other day as well. And like, he is just so far away from our industry, like as well. Like, so that was really, really good.
Yeah, honestly, my husband does the same. Like the amount of lines he's run with me, the amount of tech he's helped me set up, especially with like the podcast where I'm like, shit, I can't set this up. And he just comes in and just calmly does it.
Oh my God, I know. Like the things they put up with, you know what I mean? So yeah, like he's great, and I'm really excited just about like just trucking on and seeing what comes next.
I love that. Yeah, shout out to all the supportive partners who support someone within the arts, because it's a chaotic industry. We can be chaotic people, but
Yeah.
we bring the vibes.
We bring the vibes, we bring the crack, and that is what is important.
All that matters, literally at the end of the day, all that matters. We bring the crack, we bring the vibes.
Yeah.
We are the party.
Yeah. We are the drama
We are the drama, we are the party.
here.
And on that note, I will say, Éimear, thank you for being part of the drama and a vital part of the arts.
Becca, thank you so much. Oh, I can't believe that you asked me to be on this. Thank you so much.
Of course, I can't believe it's taken me so long. I could listen to your docile Irish tones all day. Take care, lovely.
All right, darling, take care. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to Part of the Arts. If you enjoyed this episode or any of the others, please subscribe, share, and leave us a review. Also, we would love it if you could support this passion project by buying us a coffee. All the info is below. Thank you and see you next time.